What's up, everybody? Hey, how you doing out there? I hope you're doing great. We're going to get into what's going on in Jackson, Mississippi, the water crisis there, what the mainstream media is not telling you. And the reason I'm acting so jazzed, so excited, so into this, so enthusiastic about this segment is because I feel like shit. So I'm just trying to overcompensate because I feel like garbage. I am sick right now, and so I'm just gonna give you the one segment rather than the full show because I feel like utter garbage, and so yeah, we're just gonna do the one segment. Hope that's okay. Uh, and I did the thing where I took the, you can't breathe through your nose, so I was like, well, I'll take the Mucinex, gets rid of that, and then I can breathe through my nose. So then you take that, and then you can breathe through your nose, but in place of that, you just have a steady stream of snot running down your face, which is, I feel like that should be on the cover of the box. It should be like, you'll be able to breathe again and enjoy a steady stream of snot down your face. Like, it should say, warning, choose between breathing and steady snot face. Just snotmageddon down the old face. You get to choose between those two, and I think it should say it on the box. Pick a side. And then I got the Tylenol, which there's the extra strength or whatever. With all these things, they all have the regular, and then they have the extra strength. Any of these things you use, and I'm always like, who doesn't want the extra strength? Like, what are you fucking, you live this life once. Are you not like fucking, yeah. Like, who's just like, yeah, I you know what? I want to get rid of the cough, but I'm enjoying the runny nose. So I want to leave that there. No, give me everything you got. Look, if you can blow dart heroin into my face, if that'll help, fine, do it. Just shoot it in. I don't give a shit. Whatever you got. But yes, welcome. Let's get into what's going on in Jackson, the catastrophe there. And I apologize if I sound stuffed up and everything. But, okay, so I'm going to play some clips from the mainstream media. And it's not that they're, telling you a fake story about what's going on in Jackson. It's that they just never get to the deeper issues, generally speaking. It's almost always just like a little surface. It almost seems like fun. Like, Jackson, Mississippi has a water crisis, folks. I'm going to tell you about it. For those who don't know, I mean, the clips I'll play are going to show this. But for those who don't know, Jackson, Mississippi, their water treatment is completely done. Like, fucking done. And so 100, I don't know, it was 30,000 people, 150,000. I can't remember the number, but around there, no water whatsoever. They can't drink it, can't clean in it, can't use it whatsoever. And some of them, you turn it on and nothing comes out. And then some of them, you turn it on and it's like brown. And they seem to have no plan for fixing this. But anyway, I'm going to show some of the mainstream media and then come back to analyze it as we go.
There are expected to be long lines this morning in Jackson, Mississippi, as people wait desperately for a basic human necessity. We're talking about water. We all take that for granted. This is day 5 of a growing crisis that has forced schools and businesses to close. Now, residents are now being told to shower with your mouth closed because the water is not safe. Elise Preston is her name. She's in Jackson with more on the story. Elise, listen, this has nothing to do with the story, but I'm having a question in the studio. Do you shower with your mouth open in the first place?
You fucking idiot clown. When they say don't open your mouth, they mean if you get drips of the water in your mouth while you're showering, it could be dangerous to your health. They're not saying don't sit there gargling it and fucking, just drinking it like a gerbil at a water bottle. They're saying drips in your mouth while you're showering in this shit could be dangerous to you. And that's what they mean by keep your mouth closed. And yet this woman, I think she thought she was being funny. Hey, do you shower with your mouth open in the first place? It's hilarious that, like, supposedly I'm the comedian, or, there's other comedians that cover these news stories. And yet, like, this is the comedy. Like, the fact that she is looking at a city that is desperate to have life-saving water, and she starts off serious, and then she's like, but who showered with their mouth open to begin with? That's ridiculous. All right, fuck you. Obviously, if they're telling you not to open your mouth in the shower, then really what the city is saying is this shit is very toxic. It's not like slightly toxic. It's like, oh, toxic. And that's what that means. Because they don't want to say, hey, this shit is very toxic. So they're trying to play it down and go, oh, it's, just don't open your mouth while you're in the shower. And if you feel burning in your eyes, that means it's working. It's just, anyway, let's keep going.
Good morning, Elise.
No, I do. Good morning to you, Gail. No, I do not. And it is definitely not advised here. You see their trucks behind me. 600 National Guard members have been deployed here to Jackson to help distribute water to families here during this crisis.
Okay, here's a question. You're distributing water. Why the fuck do you need National Guard to distribute water? How tough is it to hand out water crates, water pallets? You need fucking guys in camo? Are they trying to blend into the water pallets? Are they dressed like water? Are they dressed in a big water bottle to try and disappear into the water pallets? What kind of camo do they have on? Because it seems like dressing like water would be pretty useful right now to blend right into those water pallets. Why the fuck do you need the National Guard to hand out water? I'll tell you why. Because it's not really about them handing out water. You can get anybody to hand out water, right? I'm sure there's fucking tens of thousands of volunteers around the country that would go to Jackson right now, in the Jackson area, that would go running to Jackson to help struggling people get water. I bet you could have volunteers from everywhere right now. But the reason it's the National Guard is because what's their real purpose there? Is to send a message to the people of Jackson. Yes, we, the federal government, have, and to some degree the state government, but we have completely let you down. We have allowed your infrastructure to be gutted, to collapse. We have done nothing to help your city as this catastrophe has been slowly mounting. And now you're in the fucking mix of it. Now you're in the shitstorm. And we are sending military vehicles to remind you that if you happen to get pissed off in these times where your kid might drink water and get deathly ill from toxic tap water, we're here to remind you that that's a bad idea because we have lots of dudes in camo and tanks and guns and shit. There's no reason other than that reminder that you need the National Guard to hand out fucking water. Anyone can hand out water. And of course, these clowns on mainstream media, they don't ask any of those questions, right? They just go, National Guard here to hand out water, right? Perfect. What's wrong with that?
We were here at this mega site yesterday and watched them pass out nearly 5,000 cases of water to 2,500 families.
When we caught up with Sharon Dunson, she had not had usable water in her home for more than a week.
What has that been like?
It has been terrible.
Like Dunson, many in Jackson, Mississippi are still without reliable drinking water, despite crews installing an emergency pump at the city's deteriorating water treatment facility.
It smells like sewer.
The water.
So they mentioned it's been deteriorating for a long time. The flooding has made it worse. The flooding's what finally got it to this point where there's zero water in Jackson, Mississippi. But it's been deteriorating for a long time, and we don't give a shit about our people. We don't give a shit about cities around the country. And yes, there is a very strong race factor in this as well. Now, this does not mean that the federal government does a calculation as to how many white people are in a town, but Jackson, Mississippi is over 80% black, and so they have less political power, less political clout, and less money is going to be allotted by the racist system. Either the Mississippi state racist system or the federal racist system is going to be allotted to those areas. But obviously a lot of white people get hurt by this too. So it's not saying this is like fucking cut and dry. Oh, no, this only impacts black people. No, it impacts both types of people, all types of people. But this is a over 80% black city, and that's why it's basically being left to die before the others. I mean, this shit will be happening to all of us in a matter of time, not to mention, doesn't matter if you're in a wealthy area, like fires and floods can hit wealthy areas too. But this type of thing where they literally just let the water purification system just collapse doesn't tend to happen in the richer areas. But then on top of that, rich people don't stick around for this, right? If the water stops running in their sink, they're fucking going to their other house in Epstein's Island or whatever the fuck. So they don't, they you know, the truly rich don't have to worry about this happening to them. But this, you know, most of this stuff is not mentioned. There's some mention of the race issue. I believe it's in this segment or and also Washington Post coverage of it. They do say there's systemic racism, but you know, they're not really getting to the heart of the issue, which is beyond systemic racism. Why do you need racism? Well, capitalism has to divide us all and create the haves and the have-nots, the winners and the losers. And so race is an easy way to help continue those class divisions in a way where it's not all of us workers pointing at the ruling elite and going, you're the fucking problem. If they can get us to divide amongst ourselves and hate each other, then they don't have to worry about controlling us as much. But, you know, they'll send in the National Guard to deliver the water just in case some shit goes down. You want the person holding the water to be National Guard.
53-year-old Cherry White's home is no good. She's concerned for herself and her 5-year-old grandson.
I can't flush the toilet.
How does this all make you feel?
Well, me, it makes me angry. We have low running water to where we can't do nothing.
It's frustrating. It's wrong.
And then these garbage politicians can walk out there and go, it's frustrating. This is just so frustrating, you know? Just really is. Not only does Mississippi State clearly have enough money to deal with this, but the federal government, the amount of money, I think maybe later in this clip, he says it'd take $200 million to fix the water treatment facility. $200 million. Now for Jackson, Mississippi, that's fucking like way too much for them. They're like, where are we going to get that? Whereas for either the state of Mississippi or especially the federal government, $200 million, that's a toilet seat at the Pentagon. That's 15 minutes at the Pentagon. $200 million. That is nothing. That is fucking, that's a barf bag inside an F-35 fighter jet they spend $200 million on. So, yeah. Can't have money for this. Can't have money so that people, human beings in America have drinkable water. No, don't have money for that. Just have money for fucking weapons contractors, big pharma, big ag, sending it to Ukraine, send it to Nazis in Ukraine. Bet you Nazis in Ukraine got clean water. bet you their water money's showing up on time.
Wrong. And it needs to be fixed.
Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves says the focus in the
That's another reason they send the National Guard is so they can have this promo of the National Guard and go, look, they're helping. They're good. They do good things. They don't just invade other countries and destroy the world. They also do this thing right here. And by the way, in every clip I watched, and I, you know, by the way, I didn't pick this clip because this is crazy dumb. I picked this clip because it was the first one when I Googled Jackson water crisis. I was like, let's see what the mainstream media is saying about this. So, you know, you don't have to do a lot of searching to find, you know, this type of garbage media where they don't actually get to the heart of the problem. They don't talk about capitalism. They don't talk about corporatism and the corporate America buying up all the water. They don't talk about the fact that look at the water that's being delivered. And this is every video I looked at. This is photos in the Washington Post. All of the water being delivered is bottled water. As if there is no other way to deliver water in this world other than in fucking plastic that is filling our oceans and destroying our air. We all breathe. They now have done studies to find out we breathe microplastics. That when you eat fish or something, you're eating microplastics. Like, it's in us, man. They've also done a study recently and found out that rainwater is not safe to drink anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world, it has forever chemicals in it. And part of the reason is because we use all this garbage. But so all this water they're delivering to people is in plastic bottles. It's like most of these people are families that need, like, if you gave them giant jugs of water, that would be perfect for their needs. That's what they need, is big jugs of water. They could pour it in glasses. They could pour it to wash dishes. They could pour it to wash, family members. Like, why is it all bottled fucking water? It's bottled water for two reasons. One is because it's probably being donated by like Nestle and other companies, Coca-Cola and shit. Because we don't have an actual way to help our citizens anymore. We just go to corporate America and go, hey, corporate America, can you please help our citizens survive? And they go, oh, okay, well, if it looks good on a commercial, can we put it in a commercial? Yeah, sure, do what you want. Okay, cool. And so there a lot of corporate donations is part of the reason. And the other reason is because we've just come to believe this is how you deliver water. Like, thanks to corporate America, this is just what it is. Like, there is no water delivering system. I mean, there are the big waters that you see in offices where you tip the thing over and dump it everywhere or whatever. So they can be delivering those. But it's like, what did people do 100 years ago when they delivered water? They didn't do fucking plastic bottles. They had like a truck filled with water and they had a hose attached to it. How about that? How about people come, we have a hose attached to a truck filled with water and we give you your water. But now we're just going to give out 100 billion plastic bottles, and that'll be good for the world. And I don't blame the people getting these waters at all for this. This is the way it's being handed to them. They've been fucked by their city. They're trying to survive. They're trying to get water for their kids. Fucking take the bottled water. I don't blame them at all. I blame the fucking higher ups in this system that think this is the only way to deliver water.
Short term is distributing as much water as possible to residents in need.
I just wanted to help any way that we can.
Enlisting the help of the state's National Guard.
This is one of 7 mega sites where the National Guard is handing out 2 cases of water per adult.
We don't have the built-in revenue that we need to keep.
This really is just a giant ad for the National Guard. I didn't even appreciate just how much of that it is. Just like National Guard, National Guard, National Guard, National Guard, National Guard, National Guard, National Guard. How about the fact that the military that National Guard is part of is fucking part of this government that is garbage, that is destroying other countries, and that can't even have a functioning water system in Jackson, Mississippi. How about that? Anyway, I wanted to show that story to you. I'm trying to see if this other clip has anything. A lot of bottled water. Anyway, in the other clip, they say that the water fountains at the schools have had out of order signs on them for years. And not because the water fountain doesn't work, because they don't want the kids drinking the water. That's been going on for years. So even though there's floods caused by climate change that have made this worse in Jackson, Mississippi, their water has been collapsing for years and deteriorating for years. And our society doesn't give a fuck. Our government doesn't give a flying fuck. Just, let them die. Let them drink whatever the fuck. I mean, does that not tell you something? Do you honestly think most other countries would be able to solve this problem far quicker than the United States? But this is what happens when you're in late stage capitalism. You exploit people as far as you possibly can. You gut every public infrastructure system, and make it so that it doesn't work anymore. And then you can point. Then the people in Congress can point to it and go, "Oh, look, water system doesn't work anymore. We got to sell it to Nestle. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. Public schools. Oh, look, public schools don't work anymore. We got to sell them to charter schools. Yeah. We don't know what happened. Just they don't work anymore. Yeah. Oh, look, postal system doesn't work anymore. USPS having a lot of trouble. We don't know what happened. So we got to sell that to UPS and the others. Yeah, don't know what happened. Just doesn't work anymore. Yeah. Oh, look, healthcare doesn't work anymore, so we got to sell that. Yeah, we don't know. It just doesn't work anymore. We don't know what happened. Oh, maybe you fucking didn't fund any of it. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe you did everything you could to make sure it wouldn't work, to make sure it wouldn't be funded so that you could sell it to corporate America, which pays your fucking checks and buys your campaigns, and you are pawns to them. And so we live in inverted totalitarianism ruled by the corporate state, and this is all part of the game. This is all part of the system, all part of the game. Anyway, I wanted to give you those things to show you how mainstream media is not getting to the deeper issues going on. I'm sorry I can't do a full episode today. I feel like shit and am sick. So if you like this, please share it. Please let people know. And I'm coming to perform in Berlin, Germany. Sorry, Berlin, Germany. Yeah. Berlin, Germany, Stockholm, Sweden, and London, England. We're doing a live Government Secrets. Government Secrets is my podcast with Graham Elwood. We're doing live Government Secrets. I'll also be performing stand-up at each of those gigs. The London gig, George Galloway will be opening. Elton Goldfield will be opening in Berlin and Stockholm. So please grab those tickets. They're at leecamp.com, not the website you see on the screen. That's my locals page, leecamp.net. But if you want tickets, go to leecamp.com, click schedule tab. And other than that, there will be, even though I don't know how I'll feel Wednesday, whether there'll be a live stream, but there will be a new Most Censored News, my show. We'll have a new episode coming out tomorrow, I believe. So keep an eye out for that at leecamp.net. All right. Keep fighting.